On the 9th of July, a college sophomore named Emmett Vandersloot mailed a padded envelope containing 41 pages of photocopied ledgers to a public defender 3 counties away. He never followed up. The envelope arrived after he stopped answering his phone. Before that summer, his life had been unremarkable. He grew up in Halverson Reach, a lakeside settlement of maybe 600 people, where the tap water tasted faintly of iron and the whole town smelled like cut hay in June. His family belonged to the Fellowship of the Quiet Harvest, a congregation that met in a converted Grange Hall with a green tin roof. He remembered it as boring. Long prayers, casseroles, hymns, sung slightly out of tune. He came home from school on the 28th of May. The first thing that struck him as wrong was the language. When he asked Mrs. Oduya Beltree how her husband was doing, she said, "We keep only what keeps us." Later, his father used nearly the same phrase at dinner. So did the man who pumped gas at the co-op. Emmett wrote it in his phone notes because it bothered him and he did not know why. He also noticed absences. The Karsniak family, who had lived on Sedge Road for as long as anyone could remember, were simply gone. When a visiting insurance adjuster asked about them at the diner, 4 separate conversations stopped at once. His mother later told him the Karsniaks had moved to be nearer to relatives. She did not say where. His sister was 17. Her name was Rena. That summer, their parents began referring to her readiness and scheduled her for evening study sessions with 2 of the elders. She told Emmett the sessions made her tired in a way she could not describe and that she was not permitted to talk about them. The fellowship gathered on Thursdays. On the 11th of June at 10:42 at night, Emmett left his bedroom window and followed the elders' pickup trucks along the fire road into the pine stands east of the reservoir. He filmed 16 minutes of footage on his phone before the battery, at 9%, died in the cold. The recovered portion is fragmentary. The audio is clearer than the image. What it captures is not a religious ceremony in any conventional sense. It captures a discussion of logistics, a rotation. Which family had given last and which family was owed? A voice that experts later could not conclusively identify says, "The Vandersloots are current. The girl closes their cycle." Another voice, older, replies that the ground near the old sluice was getting crowded. Emmett spent the following 3 weeks doing something a rational person probably should not have done alone. He photographed the Grange Hall's locked back office. He copied a leather ledger listing family names and dates going back, by his count, over 130 years, each entry paired with a single first name and a location abbreviated to 2 letters. He recorded a phone conversation in which the county assessor and the volunteer fire chief discussed closing the girl's file by August. He understood then that there was no local authority to call. He was careful. He was not careful enough. On the 6th of July, his mother found the memory card taped inside the toilet tank. She did not raise her voice. According to Rena, who is the only source for this part, their mother simply said, "Someone has been talking to the outside," and left the house to make a call. The public defender who received the envelope turned it over to a state agency. By the time investigators reached Halverson Reach on the 2nd of August, the Grange Hall had been emptied. The ledger was never located. The county assessor had retired and relocated. 14 families sold their homes within the same 11-day period. Rena Vandersloot was interviewed once briefly, then declined further contact. Emmett has not been located. His truck was found at the reservoir boat launch with the driver's door open and the dome light still burning. The fellowship posts its Thursday meeting time on a hand-lettered sign outside the Grange. It has not changed.